fabulous Scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and today I am creating a layout that I used for a challenge over at the Kitaholic Kids online crop that was ran on January 26th, and this was their Grab 5 challenge. Now, I'm not going to lie, I found this one really difficult, and actually, what caused me the most problems was this blue paint that I'm using right now. It was actually the wrong color choice, and I really shouldn't have used this blue. So, the general gist of the layout is super cute, and I really like the design aspect of it, but I just didn't quite have it coordinated quite right, unfortunately. So I will probably give this another try when I coordinate just a little bit better, because I love the concept. I love the idea of what I'm working with. So I'm just doing a little bit of packaging technique. So the first one was the Distress Oxide Spray in denim, I think. And the purple is a Delusional's Shimmer Spray in Laid Back Lilac. And it is gorgeous. It is certainly shimmery. It is my current fave product. I've got 4 of them that came in a kit, and they are just divine. So right now I am using a Vicky Bouton's stencil with some gold acrylic paint. I'm just rubbing that super gently. For those of you here in Australia, these are the Kmart makeup brushes that were a big thing a little while back. I've had mine for quite a while, but I haven't really embraced them yet. I really should get on board with them because they're incredible. Like, how super easy does that look? That's how easy it is in real life. It is so chill. So definitely grab some of those. They come in a set of 3 for about $12 or something. So awesome. But yeah, so I'm really happy with how that looks, but it's totally the wrong color for this collection of papers. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. The blue doesn't match. There's no purple in the kit at all. So anyway, I just nothing just popped to me. I just kept going. And then when I had it all stuck down, I was like, this is just a bit off. So anyway, I love the general feel of the layout, though, I am going to say. As I said earlier, the actual design element, the way the layout is created, I actually really like. I just need to get the colours more on point for next time. So I've cut some 2x2 squares, and I've distressed those. I have pre-matted my photos, which I've also distressed, because one of the Grab 5 elements was to have textured layers. The other one was to use a stencil and to use gold. So textured layers, check. I've got all these textured squares, which aren't specifically in layers, but then the actual photograph itself, I've matted 2 or 3 times, and I've distressed each of the edges of those as well. So definitely done that. So textured layers, gold. I've obviously used the gold acrylic paint through the stencil, and stencil was the third thing. So that's 3 of the Grab 5 already. And yeah, so I'm just quickly sticking all these on. Obviously there are 2 missing, but they're right where the photo is going to go. And I didn't have any more of like the correct corresponding one. So I thought it was better to just leave them out and just cover the gap with my photo instead of putting something sort of wrong and introducing a new clashing color or something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to pop that in. I probably could, like, if I really, really cared, I could probably pull up those 2 pink ones and change them for something more purpley or more navy. But anyway, moving on. I thought the color blue would match in with the dark blue floral, but the 2 blues are like totally opposite to each other, so they did not match at all. But anyway, just sticking on my photos, as I said, I've layered those up quite a bit. I've given them a white matte, and then they also have that striped paper with distressed edges, but this one again I've also thrown in a 4x6 cut apart card, a 3x4 cut apart card, and a frame as well, just to add a little bit of layer to it. And again, I'm going to do the same with this next one, add a couple of layers to that as well. So once I've gone ahead and done all of that, they're ready to be stuck on. So there's another 3x4 card. I'd cut the center out to use on a different layout. And I thought I would use that frame, and I possibly would have, but instead I'm just going to just dress it up and pop it underneath the photo anyway. Just get it used is my motto at the moment. I've got so much stash, I just need to get using it. So I'm going to stick that on there, and because there's a big gap in the center, I'm going to do a big cross of double-sided tape, and that will also hold my photo on board as well. So kill two birds with the one stone. It's kind of a shame not to see much of that or any of that frame, that beautiful frame in there, but I'm happy to have used the supply. So layering those up like that, so you can see the concept. It actually would have looked really, really cool if that blue ink wasn't blue. I possibly should have tossed it aside. It's nothing wrong with it, but popped it aside for another layout where I did have more blue. But anyway, you can see I'm a bit fixated on it, but I just kept going. I don't know why it didn't occur to me at the time. So another thing that I had to use was stickers. So I pulled out this sticker sheet because it ties in perfectly with the photos. And these were the thickers that came in the kit. And again, I possibly should have picked a different coloured thicker because I feel like I'm introducing a whole new colour here by adding orange thickers to my page. But they were all part of the same kit, so I kind of just rolled with it. I'm simply naming this Honeymoon. I will absolutely do some journaling on it later that explains in more detail what exactly is going on here. Any of you that follow my channel and really, really know me, be like, I thought you had your honeymoon in New Zealand and I thought you already did your honeymoon photos. Yeah, I did. We had 2 honeymoons because we had one directly after the wedding to Tasmania 2 days later. And then we had a big one over to New Zealand 6 months later when we had time off work. So just a little bit of inside knowledge there. So I'm just adding on a few little bits and bobs here around the page just to, do my little clusters. I'm definitely going to put that card on that do more of what makes you happy because I feel like that colour is desperately needed, especially with that title. And then I throw on that word phrase, which I really loved the sentiment of what it was saying, but it's bright red. So I need to have some more red somewhere pop out on the page as well. Otherwise, it's a bit random to have that. So I really have gone a little bit crazy with my color choices, I must say. I'm not really sure where my head was at this stage of the creating process. I actually ended up sending this layout to Katie and saying, I just don't know. It's not right. I don't want to start all over again. I've glued it all down, but something's not working. And she did give me some suggestions for modifications that didn't involve ripping things up and off of my layout because we know how difficult that can be once you've already glued down. I've got some Memory Maze raw chipboard hearts here, or wood veneer hearts here. I think they're chipboard. Oh, I don't know. That I'm going to use as well. Just add a little bit of something else to the page. But I kind of wanted those to mirror either side of the Honeymoon title. So it didn't just look like it was hanging from the sky. But it still kind of does look like it's hanging from the sky, just saying. So that does change a little bit. I pull it a bit further down because it's a little bit too high up with nothing really anchoring it. I tried to anchor it with those hearts, but it didn't quite work. It's still living the dream up there all by itself. And then this is the 5th thing that I need to add, which is enamel dots. Now, I was going to actually put rhinestones on here, but I thought I would really, really stick to the brief and actually dig into my stash and pull out enamel. But of course I didn't have any enamel in the right colours. So I tried to tie in the colours, but I really could only find 4 that even remotely fit. So I just did 4 and let it go. So the 5 things I was supposed to have for this grab 5 if you were playing along at home. Distressed layers, a stencil, gold, wood veneer, and enamel dots and stickers. So I've definitely covered all of that. Now Katie suggested that I do another row of the squares so that I just sort of have one row missing randomly in the center, which I think looked nice. but I lined them up perfectly. So that's exactly where the next row would have been. But what I don't love is that the gap above, the white space above, is actually way too big. It's not an equal border now all the way around the 4 sides. And I know that's not important, but when you're already nitpicking your own layout because you're not super thrilled with it, every little thing just kind of gets at you. Something else that gets at me is while I pulled these thickers off, I had the splatters that I had done hadn't quite dried on the thicker because it's a different surface on that letter N there that you can see, and I totally smudged it. So that just looks messy and gross to me as well, which you will definitely be able to notice in the close-up photos. So anyway, this whole layout is just a bit off kilter for me. These things happen. It's not an absolute disaster. This layout will definitely stay. It would definitely go into my album. It's just not my favorite. That's as simple as that. But thank you for watching. As I said, I would definitely try this design again, but I'm going to color coordinate a little bit better. You may notice in the close-up photos that I have chucked a border on in that blue, and that definitely helped tie the blue mixed media into it a little bit better. All right, thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.